messages. We are here for the final double episode, the double final episode, the last 2 goddamn episodes of Slay. Now, if you're watching this after the fact and you don't want to hear me blab with people, you can zip on over to 00:00. Go right to the story, and we will get into it. But if you do want to hear my chit-chat with the junkies who are about to show up in the chat room any moment now, by all means, stick around, hang out, fuck around, and find out. ST. I got a big old orange and black tea mug. Is gigantic. All right, let's see what we got going on. Oh, hello, Sean. Good. Thank you, Sean. Sean is a longtime listener, understands that there sometimes are some audio goblins in this. Edward Rocco in the house. And Cobalt, what's up? Dr. Daniel Baker, PhD. He's a guy for me. He's so awesome with his chemistry. It's Dr. Daniel Baker, PhD. Brian Leach, how you doing? Good. Sounds good. Steve, the Iceberg, Ricky Berg. Tunnel Enjoyer, how you doing? I hope you're ready for a fat, thick, girthy, round, turgid double episode. Rich Noah in the house. Don Shipley in the house. Don's got to get the Facebook feed up. Hey, Doc, what's going on? Dr. D in the house. Change your handle. Is that legal? Can you change your social media handle? I don't think you can. I don't think that's legal. Who did I miss? Anybody? No, I think I got everybody coming in here. Dr. T is in the house. All right. This is going to be a very long... Timothy Clark, what's up? Jay Aldred, what's up? Oh, man, good to see you people. We're going to have a very long episode today, so we're going to dive right into it. But for the moment... Oh, I got to get my script up. Get it up. Let's get it up. Was that his Kiss song? No, it's Lick It Up. Not Get It. Also, very tawdry and dirty. There's just no way around it. Let's go to Google Docs. I got stuff to tell you. First of all, if you guys are on YouTube, hit the like, slap the bell. No, slap the like, ring the bell. I don't fucking know. Also, and just subscribe. Don't be silly. Don't be silly. Oh, hey, Dylan, how you doing? I don't know why I said... Rob says, double the girth, double the pleasure. We did not make this episode ribbed, but I assure you the epilogue will be ribbed. Now, we got some stuff to share. Gosh darn, I got to sign in. I'll tell you what, son. Here we go. All right, got it. Tonight's reading, this episode is Slay episode 117, Quickdraw. And then after Slay episode 118, Bite Down Hard. So we're going to read 117, then we will stop, and then we will shut the thing down, reboot very quickly, and you guys have to come back in. That's to make sure that the people who watch after the fact can watch the episodes one at a time. Rob says, isn't Slap the Bell also a Kiss song? Slap the bell! Yeah, I think that's an Ace Frehley thing going on right there. No deep cuts tonight, because we got the big fat girthituded Miss Redwood-sized double episode. And but A is going to pop up after. And hey, Bivens in the house. What's up, Pam? A is going to pop up after. We got some stuff to cover with you guys, some changes in what's going down. And of course, let's go back to, can I add that? Can I add this? That puts it on right there. Okay. So of course, if you got anything you want to say to us, info@mset.com. You want to text, if you're not on the text list, you should text SIG text to 855-955-5095. Sign up for our newsletter. Don't be a schlub. Just do it. scottsigler.com/newsletter. And of course, we have sponsors who keep this show free. GoDaddy. If you need a domain, any domain.com, whatever the F, you go get it. Use the code CJCFOSSIG3 and you get 99% off your first year of the new 3-year.com domain registration. Quince.com/Sigler. I'm not wearing Quince gear right now. I'm wearing Kraken's gear. Booyah! But the Quince stuff's great and very affordable. It's fantastic. With winter coming up, you bitches need clothes. And of course, Stamps.com. If you're a small business, you should be using Stamps.com. At Stamps.com, when you sign up, use the code Sigler100 and it saves you a bunch. I don't remember exactly what it saves you, but it's a goddamn bunch. Wouldn't lie to you guys about this. Our internet seems to be okay. Baby girl, if you're listening to this, make sure you don't have a bunch of tabs open or whatever. Make sure your phone Wi-Fi is off. So we're only drawing the good stuff from the tap. The good stuff. Cobalt says, love the text. That is how I'm on time for the live read. Fantastic. That's great. Abrahamu numbers 562. I don't know who the hell that is. Recluse Mage, we got hit a little bit by the storm. Not too bad though. We're in a great spot, man. Like nothing really bad happens to us here. It's paradise all the time. Bloomfield, what's going down? All right, 141 left till we launch. And again, if you're coming in after the fact, once again, boop, you can go to 00:00 and we will dive right into the story. That's about it. Did the advertising stuff. Stick around after, and a real girl herself will come up, and we're going to give you a heads up about 2 big bits of news. You guys get an early angle on it. Steve Rickyberg says, gotta love how YouTube is screwed up names in the chat. It is weird, right? Everything, welcome to my world. Everything works fine. And then all of a sudden it doesn't. We had a random hum in the room today, and it's not even the good kind. It was a bad kind of hum. It's very, very, Daryl, what's going on? Rob Tinarello, what's up? This is going to be over the top episode, Rob. Now, real quick, if you guys are not caught up on Slay, you probably want to tap out once we get going, go get caught up. However, if you want the full effect of the live performance while you're here, you can go get caught up later. It's nothing really earth-shattering going to miss, but you have been warned. This is the last 2 episodes of Slay going down tonight, and then episode 119 will be the epilogue, which in Rob and I style, the epilogue slides it on in to the next season. All right, let's get out of here. Home, get rid of that. Get rid of that. Go back to how we doing? Yeah, great crowd. Look at the crowd. Look at the crowd. It's fucking great. All right, let's get this minused out. We got to dive right into it, y'all. Let's get Slay third up. Boom. Get the recording going. And that will do it. Ladies and gentlemen, Rob and I present to you episode 117 of Slay. Thank you, Sean. Previously on Slay, Icepick and Herbie the Lovebug crashed Dante's victory party at Callista's club. Icepick took out Dante, Billy, Lincoln, and put the Oleous Oakbeard Big Druid Whammy on the cursed armor of Sir Arnault the Pure. That destroyed the suit and zapped Magda's spirit back to her body at the old stone church. Magda knows she needs to do something to help Billy and Linc, who were taken down by Icepick and Herbie. But with her agoraphobia keeping her trapped in her home, is there anything she, Dragon, Shitbird, and Ariella can do? And at the club, Lincoln and Billy are in dire straits. Just how bad is their situation? Find out next on Slay, episode 117. Icepick cinched the cable tight on the man in gray's arms. If you wanted someone to sit still and play nice, there was nothing quite like hog-tying them with meshwork rope that crimped both their physical strength and any magical power, naturalist abilities, or drawn from implanted talismans that they might possess. With his belly on the dance floor's cracked glass, his bound feet up in the air and tied to his bound wrists, Frank's wasn't going to be a problem. You just relax, Icepick said. Copy? Frank's sneered. Fuck you, douchebag. I'm gonna tear off your dick and make you choke on it. You could call the man in gray a lot of things, but you could not call him inconsistent. He shot up his mouth no matter what the situation was. Frank's lay next to his buddy Walter, who was tied up the same way. Icepick double-checked Walter's bindings. He wasn't going anywhere either. What did you do to Magda? Asked Walter. Is she okay? Frank's old Rixator Socius had controlled the... Frank's old Rixator Socius had controlled the suit of armor. Nobody had seen her in years. Was she okay? Icepick didn't know. Oleous Oakbeard hadn't covered that part, only that the armor would break apart, and whatever spirit controlled it would be forced out. Where that spirit would go was a question Icepick probably should have asked. "She's fine," Icepick said. "Don't worry about it." She might be dead for all he knew. Or her soul might be in whatever version of hell the Oakbeards feared. Druids, man. They were an odd bunch. Icepick gathered up their weapons and the man in Gray's cloak set the bundle on the throne dais atop the broken bits of Callista's throne. "Herbie, watch those two," he said. "I know you're hungry, big guy. If they move funny, you have permission to bite their heads off." The Dimortuga's head was low to the ground, only a few feet from Dante Oganov. At Icepick's command, Herbie moved onto the dance floor and took up the same position near Frank's and Walter. A bit of drool dangled from the big, lovable turtle's head. Icepick needed to find him some chow, and fast. Dante lay at the edge of the dais, his eyes glassy. He drooled a bit, and not from hunger. He had taken the same Ataminohari, needle of pain, spike as Frank's and Walter, except they each had about 150 pounds on the goblin. Icepick probably should have scaled back the spike's meshwork charge for such a small target, but in the heat of the moment, it had slipped his mind. It hadn't killed Dante, and he was still conscious. Mostly. All's well that ends well. Icepick had searched Dante, found a cell phone, a pocket full of lemon drops, a meshwork blade with scraps of scroll wrapped around the handle, and a 2-shot Russian Derringer knockoff in a spring-loaded sleeve holster. The thing was loaded with 1 forget-me-shot round and 1 truth bullet, which was about to come in very handy. "I was here for a little bit before Herbie made his grand entrance," Icepick said. "I heard you say something about paperwork being filed, about how all of this is officially yours. You got Callista to sign this club over to you?" The goblin blinked his black eyes. He was groggy, but still with it. "Whatever Vestinian is paying you, I will double." "Right. Like the money is the thing with that guy. He holds grudges. Case in point, you." Icepick pointed the Derringer at Dante's face. "Your truth bullet won't kill you, even at this range, but it's gonna sting like the dickens. You will tell me what's going on with Callista. You decide if that admission comes with or without a big old divot in your forehead." Icepick had been shot with a truth bullet once. Once. It was not a fun experience. Apparently, Dante wasn't a fan of it either. "She has transferred the club, all Lumencia properties, and certain debts over to me," the goblin said. "That is why I tell you I have money to pay you, and power in the city, Icepick. I can now negotiate with Vestinian." Goblins were a shifty bunch to begin with, and this guy might be the shiftiest of them all. "Our lawyers are finishing transaction as we speak," Dante said. "I assure you, Icepick, Vestinian will be far more angry with you if you kill me than if you simply let me go. I will call him as soon as transaction is complete. You have my word." Normally, Icepick would have dismissed the babble as the typical Mark's desperate, last-minute bullshit to save themselves from being taken away, or getting a spite to the medulla oblongata, aka the night-night switch. Normally, sure, but Icepick had seen Callista leave the club, which she supposedly never did. Dante had been sitting in her throne. Dante was telling the truth. Icepick wondered how much Callista would pay to get her club back, get her entire Lumencia operation back. A lot, probably. At the very least, far more than the goblins' offer to double Vestinian's bid. And Icepick could still get paid for that. All he had to do was kill Dante Oganov. Here's what's gonna happen, Icepick said. You're gonna stop that transaction right now, or I'll kill you and collect the bounty on your head. Don't kill him, Frank shouted. My son is on the shelf. Callista has a contract that keeps him there. Dante gets that contract. If you stop this deal, or you kill Dante, my son is trapped forever. Icepick looked at the hog-tied former Rixator. His son, on the shelf? One had to wonder if that had any connection to that former status. But it didn't matter. You confuse me with someone who cares, Icepick said. Franks kicked and pulled at his bindings, but managed only to flop onto his side. Herbie's head stretched closer to the man. A clicking growl bubbled from the slightly open beak. Franks stopped moving. Just wait, Icepick, he said, both fury and fear in his eyes. Let the transaction finish, then you can kill him. Skin him alive, I don't care. Go to town, man, go to town. But just wait. The man in gray had made the cardinal sin in the bounty hunting game. He had made it personal. A shame. Your problems are your problems, not mine. Icepick slid the little derringer into an inside pocket of his leather trench coat and brought out his cell phone. I could have killed you where you stood, Franks. I could kill you right now. So how about, instead of running your mouth off with that sob story, you show me some proper gratitude and shut the fuck up. Icepick hadn't killed Franks for two reasons. First, professional courtesy. You didn't kill another bounty hunter unless you had to. All part of the unwritten protocol of the business. But the second reason was far more relevant to Icepick's health. Killing Franks meant drawing the ire of his murder machine sister, Sophia, and his disconnected brother, Lucas. But things were getting complicated. If the man in gray's son was really involved, and Icepick stopped the transaction or got Dante to give everything back, he would have Lincoln Franks as an enemy. Icepick had to kill him now. But how to do that and not become enemy number one? How to do that and not become enemy number one of not one, but two active Rixators? Icepick didn't know. First, though, he had to understand where he stood financially. He hit Callista's number and raised the phone to his ear. Hang up, Pix, Frank said. I'm calling you out. A chill laced up and down Icepick's spine. Remember China, you slimy piece of tortoise shit? Franks hawked a glob of phlegm and spat. With his head only an inch off the spiderweb dance floor, the loogie didn't go far. A thin strand trailed from his lower lip to the wet glob. In China, you told me if our paths ever cross again, that we'd dance. So, let's dance. Callista answered the call. Icepick, I'm afraid your efforts to find Dante Oganov are quite lacking. Franks had taken an Atami no Hati to the neck. That meshwork shock was still in his system, weakening him. He wouldn't be at his best. Icepick, hello? Franks smiled. Don't you want to know who's best? The string of spit jiggled. What's the matter, Pick? Come and get it, you pussy. Let's play for keeps. In the phone, Callista's volume rose. Icepick, are you there? Did you butt dial me? All problems could be solved in one fell swoop. Mistress, Icepick said, if I could keep your property yours, how much would that be worth to you? Her pause sounded like waiting wealth. 10,000 gold, she said, and a place at my side for as long as you like. Mercutio is of no interest to me. I need a new lover. A flutter warmed Icepick's heart. 10,000 gold. Somewhere in the ballpark of $30 million. And he could be at her side. He could be hers. Call your lawyer, Icepick said. Tell him to delay the transaction. I'll call you back. He put the phone away. Beyond the money, beyond belonging to Callista, everyone would know that Icepick was the best. A straight-up duel, he said to Franks. What about your family? How are they going to know you called me out? Franks got the subtext right off. He glanced at Dante, knowing that if he lost, Dante wouldn't be around to be a witness. Walt will tell them, Franks said. He'll tell them the duel was my wish, that I called you out. The younger of the two hog-tied men lurched, flopped onto his side, facing Franks. I'm not telling him shit, Walt said. Linc, don't fight this guy. We can shut your fucking mouth, Franks roared at his friend. If I die, you will tell my brother and sister they are not to do a fucking thing to Icepick. You got it? Walter nodded. Yeah, I got it. Sorry, guys. Hold on. I left a part. Some part did not make the export. Well, we'll just have to punch it in. You can listen to the podcast later. It doesn't matter. The same goes for you, Walt, Frank said. If I die, you don't touch Icepick. The younger man glanced at Icepick, tired eyes hardening. I can't promise that, he said. Ooh, a potential new enemy. If it came to that, Icepick would handle it. Walter wasn't a Rixator. He didn't have the law on his side, nor did he have an endless army of badasses to back him up. You can and you will, Frank said to him. I'm calling in a marker, kid. Walter's eyes widened. He blinked, absorbing what Franks had said. Icepick didn't know the significance of calling in a marker, but to these people, it obviously carried great meaning. Everyone knew that when the man in gray gave his word, that was that. He did what he said he would do. He had honor. And apparently, he demanded the same of those closest to him. Okay, Walt said. I promise. Franks flopped back to his belly and stared up at Icepick. Untie me, you pussy. A duel against a weakened, exhausted Franks. If Icepick could kill him, then kill Icepick could kill him, then kill Dante. Vestinian would be happy. Franks wouldn't be around to seek payback for his lost son. And his psycho family wouldn't be out for revenge. Then, Icepick would swim in the sexual ocean that was Callista. And he'd be rich enough to buy a mansion in Barren Hills. And buy so much fresh tuna for Herbie. No cloak, Icepick said, and no guns. Franks laughed. Suck on my balls 2 times. If it's no guns, then none of your bitchy little knitting needles either. Come on, pussy. A lot of people are saying I'm faster than you. I mean, I don't know, but that's what people are saying. It would be a cold day in hell that Icepick would leave his bow shuriken spikes behind in a duel against a killer like the man in gray. And besides, no one was as fast as Icepick. No one. I get my spikes, Icepick said. You get your pistol, and each of us brings one and only one melee weapon. Acceptable? The man in gray nodded. I'm your huckleberry, he said. Let's find out. I do not like our odds, Dante said. Franks is not himself. Icepick had dragged Dante next to Billy. They were both still hogtied, and that monster turtle hovered over them, viscous drool trailing down from its beak. Herbie, the monster who had killed Dragon's mother and siblings. Billy wanted to burn that Dimortuga alive in its shell. Vestinian be damned. Billy tried again to channel his fire that was not fire. Just as before, the power fizzled and fluttered within him, sputtering like an engine that refused to start on a sub-zero December morning. Billy's broken arm hurt bad, the pain magnified by having it pulled back by the hog-tie cable. Pain resonated throughout his body, the lingering legacy of polyp jizz. Those things dampened his power. Even without the cable's properties, he wasn't sure if he could activate it. With the cable, no chance. The meshwork properties within it calmed Billy's filament, crimped the angry energy that drove it to incendiary levels. That, and Billy was just plain exhausted. He had nothing left to give. Your hatchet? Icepick said. Really? I would have thought you'd use that lovely long sword of yours. Icepick stood at one end of the cracked and cratered dance floor. Tall and thin, wearing his long black leather trench coat, he looked the part of the Old West gunslinger, save for that he had no cowboy hat, and he held a wakizashi in his left hand. Billy recognized the 2-foot, slightly curved Japanese blade from Lincoln's story. Icepick had used that very blade to decapitate Dragon's brothers and sisters. Icepick's right hand dangled near his right hip. He had flipped the trench coat back to reveal a leather holster holding 6 bow shuriken spikes. Sometimes the old ways are best, Lincoln said, and Bastard Maker is real old. Without his ever-present void cloak, Linc looked weird. Nothing to cover his form-fitting, dull gray armor and the hundreds of runes painted or etched upon it. Where Sir Arnault's armor made Billy think of a walking locomotive, Linc's made him think of a sleek, lethal fighter jet, one scratched and pitted from dozens of dogfights, one long overdue for major repairs. His skegucks looked like a continuation of the armor itself, battered and marked by war. Not the business part, though. The thick, flat blade's curved edge shone with the promise of a quick death. At his right hip hung his holstered Kel-Tec pistol. Billy had seen Linc kill Pragman with that same gun. Another idiotic mano-a-mano duel in a back alley of Lumencia. That duel, though, had saved Billy's life. Could Linc win again? This time to save Dante. This time to save Dante, and thereby Sam. For keeps. If Linc lost, he would die. And he was so beat up. He was doing a good job of hiding his broken femur, but when the fighting started, would Peanut's meshwork wrap hold up? Billy tried to call upon his power again. Again, Nothing more than a fizzle that was immediately choked down by the cable. A meshwork cable. Meshwork powered by filament. Could Billy look within the cable, find the filament's frequency? Could he affect it? No. Tied up like he was, he couldn't see the goddamn thing. He was helpless. Helpless to watch his friend fight to the death. Well, this ain't gonna suck itself, Linc said, giving Bastard Maker a practice twirl. You ready to die, bitch? Billy knew this would have been the moment Linc activated his haze of Cimmeral, hiding his remorseless, slate-gray eyes with those terrifying, wavering smoke horns. But it was his cloak that produced the haze. No cloak, no haze. I am not ready to die, Icepick said, but I am ready to kill. Linc pointed his hatchet at Herbie. You make sure that big smelly fuck stays out of this. Tell him now. Icepick scowled, as if he was offended anyone would think he would ask the Dimortuga to jump in. Herbie, buddy, stay out of this, he said. I mean it. Do you understand? The massive turtle lowered its blocky head and let out a growl Billy felt in his chest. Good boy, Icepick said. Don't worry, buddy. When this is done, you'll have more tuna than you can eat. He brought his sword to his chest, the blade blocking one eye. Man in gray, to face one such as you in mortal combat is a true honor. Lincoln twirled Bastard Maker again, then spread his feet. His right hand dangled at his pistol grip, his fingers wiggling. Blow it out your ass, fuzznuts, he said. Dante, call it. Next to Billy, the goblin raised his head. Call it? Are you serious? If you lose this, all of my hard work is gone, and likely my head. And you want me to call it? Icepick put his left foot forward and his right foot back, turned his left shoulder toward Linc. The fingers of his right hand twitched near the spike holster. He angled his blade point toward the beat-up dance floor. That is correct, Oganov, he said. When you say the word now, we begin. Say it loud and say it clear. Icepick and Linc stared at each other, their bodies coiled for action. Not even 30 feet separated them. Dante drew in a big breath, held it for a moment. No! To the former, smaller, unenlightened Billy, it would have been an unrecognizable blur of motion, like a movie on fast forward. His current, trained, enlightened self, though, he saw every bit of it. Lincoln rushed forward and drew in the same motion, firing so fast it sounded like an Uzi's barking burst. His left hand brought up Bastard Maker, not edge first, but rather with its profile blocking his face to the bridge of his nose. Icepick did not move forward, but he acted with speed equal to Lincoln's, grabbing and throwing shuriken spikes with methodical, cartoon-like rapidity. The first of Linc's bullets sparked off the trench coat. As Linc cut the distance in half, the first 3 spikes clanked off his hatchet's protective blade, and in that instant, Billy understood why Linc chose it over the longsword. The third spike drove into his gun hand, sliding through a gap in his gauntlet and into the knuckles beneath, but not before a bullet grazed Icepick's left temple, drawing blood and making the man twitch enough that his next spike went wide. A half-inch more to the left, and it would have been over. Linc's pistol fell away along with a bright streamer of blood. Icepick's 5th spike careened off Linc's shoulder armor. Linc reached him before he could throw the 6th, lowering his shoulder and knocking Icepick backward. The tall bounty hunter managed a flip that let him land on his feet, sword tip out, but Linc was already past its point, swinging the hatchet in a sharp, horizontal arc aimed at Icepick's left side. With speed Billy could barely comprehend, Icepick twisted away from the deadly strike, creating space, drawing his last shuriken as he did, and drove the point into Linc's right wrist. The spike punched through the vambrace into the forearm, and out the other side, sticking out like a nail jutting from a can of beets. Bastard Maker fell away. Icepick tried to continue his spin, tried to create more space, but Lincoln's bleeding, spike jutting, armored left hand windmilled in, caught Icepick's sword wrist, threw the man off balance long enough to land a short, powerful right jab. The gauntleted fist snapped Icepick's head backward, stunning him for an instant. And in that instant, Linc drove Icepick's sword arm down atop a fast-rising, armored knee. Icepick's left forearm snapped, a new 45-degree joint appearing within the trenchcoat sleeve where none had been a moment before. He screamed as the wakizashi slipped from his hands, clattered to the dance floor. Linc didn't let go of the wrist. He grunted in rage as he twisted it sharply, turning the 45-degree joint into a 90-degree bend. Icepick screamed again, through a hard right cross that smashed Linc's nose. Billy heard cartilage crunch, but Linc didn't flinch, didn't slow, didn't really seem to notice at all. He brought his knee up hard again, this time straight into Icepick's groin, lifting the man off the ground. Icepick fell hard to the dance floor's cracked glass, coughing and gasping, his arm in the trenchcoat sleeve looking like a spider's three-jointed leg. "Boshimoy," Dante said. "Did you see that?" Lincoln hopped back, getting clear of his fallen foe, barely putting any weight on his bad leg. Was the femur holding? It had happened so fast. How long had that fight taken? 3 seconds? 4? Herbie let out loud, huffing barks, heavy jaws opening and closing with sharp clacks. Lincoln's nose looked like it had been put on sideways. Blood poured from it. Grimacing, he pulled the shuriken jutting from his right gauntlet. The spike slid free with a squelch of flesh and the scrape of steel on steel. "How's that feel, cocksucker?" He pointed the bow shuriken down at Icepick. "I should shove this straight up your butthole." Icepick didn't seem to hear. His face was screwed into a mask of agony and disbelief. His arm wobbled in ways arms weren't supposed to wobble. Blood dripped from Lincoln's arm and hand. Herbie's left front foot rose up and drove down, crunching on scattered dance floor glass. He clacked his jaws. He was only a few feet from Billy's head. The bone-against-bone noise sounded like gunshots. Linc pointed the spike at Herbie. "Don't you even try it, you walking bowl of soup." He tossed the spike deeper into the club, then picked up Bastard Maker. "I swear to gods, I will turn you into a fucking pair of boots." Linc could barely stand. If that turtle charged, he didn't stand a chance. "Pick, I know this was for keeps and all, but let's call it a day, huh?" Linc said. "You and your hero and a half-shell buddy get the fuck out of here. You'll owe me one, and we'll leave it at that." Dante started kicking and thrashing, trying to escape his bonds anew. "Franks, what are you doing? Kill him!" Linc didn't even look at Dante. He half-hopped toward Icepick. "Hey, dickhead," Linc said. "Did you hear me?" It looked like Icepick wasn't hearing anything. His eyes squeezed shut, his arm ruined, his knees to his chest, he drew in a halting breath. The instant before he spoke, Billy knew Linc should have heeded Dante's advice. "Herbie," Icepick whispered. Help! The massive, crystal-armored beast let out a throat-ripping roar, then it charged straight at Lincoln, heavy, round feet punching through dance floor glass. That's episode 117, y'all. Save it. All right, now I'm going to pop out for a sec. I'll be right back. I got to restart everything. Don't you go changing. Here we go. Let's take a quick peek at things. Great. Got a good crowd. Everybody get ready. You're going to come right back, and we are going to finish this motherfucker off. Back in a second. Goodbye.